Hello friends, welcome to Communication Skills for Everyone. In this channel, you're going to learn English language skills, personality development, vocabulary, and all-round development. Hello. So today, let's learn "Still I Rise" by Maya Angelou. So Maya, born in 1928, she lived through some of the worst oppression and inequality for African American people. Although slavery had been long abolished, Maya saw its effects on society and the African American people. Still I rise is a declaration that she, for one, would not allow the hatefulness of society to determine her own success. The poem Still I Rise is not only a proclamation of her own determination to rise above society, but was also a call to others to live above the society in which they were brought up. So, Still I Rise is an inspiring and moving poem that celebrates self love and self acceptance. The poem takes the reader through a series of statements the speaker makes about herself. She praises her strength, her body, and her ability to rise up and away from her personal and historical past. There is nothing, the speaker declares, that can hold her back. She is going to rise above and behind anything that seeks to control her. So, the title of the poem, Still I Rise, is a proclamation against the society that attempts to dominate the speaker's voice. The speaker, or the poetic persona, here represents the poet's voice. She represents the black community as a whole. Through this poem, she attempts to break through the shackles of domination and raises her voice to say that she and her people are no longer mute or silent. They have got the voice to proclaim their rights. No matter how hard they try, she will prove to them the abilities of black people. The phrase "I rise" is not about a singular uprising, it's a collective revolutionary voice that consists of the raising uproar of a class oppressed and betrayed for a long time. So the poem Still I Rise is nine stanza poem that is separated into uneven sets of lines. The first seven stanzas contain four lines known as quatrains. Uh, stanza 8 has 6 lines and the ninth has 9 lines. The first 7 stanzas follow a rhyme scheme of A B C B, the eighth A B A B C C, and the ninth A B A B C C B B B. This is a rhyme scheme, so here within the Still Arise, Samaya Angelou takes a strong and determined tone throughout her writing. So, addressing as all marginalized communist trends, past and futures head on, she is able to create a very similar mood. A reader should walk away from Still Rise feeling inspired, joyful, reinvigorated with courage and strength. So let's move stanza by stanza. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I will rise. So, in this stanza, she presents her heart and soul to declare that nothing and no one could oppress her to keep her down. She doesn't care what the history books say, for she knows they are full of twisted lies. She will not let it bother her that others trod her in the very dirt. She also proclaims that if she is trodden in the dirt, she will rise like dust. So let's move to the stanzas 2. Does my assigns upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Cause I walk like I have got oil well pumping in my living room. So this second stanza, she asks a question This is an interesting question as she refers to her own tone as sassiness and asks the hearer if her saucy tone is upsetting. The poet observes or notices that the people around her in her society are beset with gloom, the darkness. When she succeeds, she questions this. She knows that she succeeded in life, in her writing, and as a woman. The oil wells pumping in living room symbolizes here the success, her success as a poet. Let's move to the third stanza. So, here in this stanza, she compares herself to the moon and the sun as they are affected by the tides. This presents reader the understanding that the speaker has no other choice but to rise out of her affliction. Try as a society might keep her oppressed. It is in our nature to raise and stand against oppression, just as it is nature of the tides to respond to the moon. Stanza 4, listen, see stanza 4. Did you want to see my broken bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? The speaker, here the poet, questions in this stanza are direct, pertinent, and appropriately accusing. Poet knows that our own success is received with bitterness by the racist people in our society. She directs these questions at a society that has long attempted to keep her oppressed. She questions them if they want to see her broken, oppressed, depressed, and bitter. She asks these questions to know that this indeed is what many in society wanted. They did not want to see a black woman rise out of the oppression of our society and succeed. The speaker knows this and she draws attention to it with these revealing, head cutting questions. Does my haughtiness offered you? Don't you take it awful hard? Cause I laugh like I have got gold mines digging in my own backyard. She continues with the questions directed at a racist society when she asks whether her haughtiness is offensive. She knows that society resents seeing a black woman full of pride. This question has an air of sarcasm, which serves to point out the hypocrisy of society as it is embittered by the success of one that it has attempted to oppress. The speaker continues in sarcastic tone as she pretended to comfort the hearer. The poet says, "Don't you take it awful hard?" This is our sarcastic way of pretending to care for those who resent our success. She continues, in a sense, flaunt her success before the society that has always oppressed her. She also claims that she has gold mines and that she laughs at the success she has found. Stanza 6. Let's you may shout me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I will rise. So, in this stanza, she lets society know that no matter what it does to oppress her, it will not succeed. The poet lets society know that it cannot prevail against her with words or looks. She also proclaims that society cannot prevail against her even if it managed to have her killed because of its hatefulness. She claims that she will still, like air, rise again. Stanza 7. Does my does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I have got diamonds at the meeting of my guys? The speaker continues her questioning of society. By this time in the poem, it becomes apparent that the speaker has placed society on trial and is now in the process of cross examination. She knows the answers to these questions, but to ask them is to incriminate the offender. While she questions incriminating questions, she simultaneously reveals incredible self confidence despite the oppression of the society. So out of the heart's history's shame I rise, half from a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide. So in this stanza, the speaker finally refers to the past, the reason that she is oppressed and resented to this day. She also calls slavery history's shame, and she proclaims that she will not be held down by the past, even if it is rooted in pain. The stanza 9 talks about leaving behind nights of terror and fear. I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. So, the final stanza here, the poet reveals that she intends to leave behind all the effects of slavery, all the effects of slavery and the history of oppression with the intent to rise above it. She claims that she will leave behind the terror and fear, and that she will rise above the pain and the oppression into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. The poet does not intend to allow the hatefulness of society or the pain of the past to stop her from becoming all that she ever dreamed of being. For this reason, she repeats three times, I rise, I rise, I rise. So the poem Still I Rise was published in the collections, and Still I Rise in 1978. So the poem, right? So it's the collection of title poem and Still I Rise. The poem appears in the third part of the book. So right, this is about Still I Rise, the poem. Thank you for watching. Subscribe Communication Skills for Everyone for more academic and educational videos.